time ever on national TV, we bring you America's best high school football team, the De La Salle High School Spartans.
Out of the last 10 years, 8 of them, you guys have won the state championship. You guys are the champions. You're coming in here as champions. You'll put your head up and walk like champions. When you walk on that field, and you'll play like champions.
We're coming here from Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, California, some 20 miles northeast of San Francisco. It's the Juicy Fruit High School Football Classic. The De La Salle High Spartans of Concord, California, the nation's top-ranked team, against Evangel Christian Academy from Shreveport, Louisiana. Hello and welcome. Glad to join us here on ESPN. Dave Ryan, Rod Gilmore. Thoughts from Rob Stone in a moment. It's amazing to think, Rob, about this win streak. 144 games. Last time they lost, De La Salle, was sometime in December of '91 when George Bush Sr. was the president in office. This team is in the midst of a 12th consecutive undefeated season. Are they the best ever team is the question?
Well, I think they're the best team in high school football right now. I mean, think about this. 3 national titles in a row, going for their 4th this year. An outstanding team, but there are some non-believers. They say, hey, they haven't played anyone outside of California except St. Louis of Hawaii. They haven't played Florida, not Ohio, not Texas. How can they be the best? Well, I'm not sure that's the case. But this streak, 144, are you kidding me? But, you know, think about what we've seen in streaks. UCLA Bruins basketball, 88 games in a row under John Wooden. Oklahoma football, 47 games in a row. Now we're talking about 144 for a high school football team. That's outstanding. Yeah, I think they're the best in the country right now.
Incredible. And amazing numbers, too, of the Evangel Christian Academy out of Shreveport, Louisiana. They started high school football, Rod, in 1989, and since then, they've won 8 state championships in different classes. They played games at the Superdome in New Orleans in front of 40,000. They've won 2 straight state champions as well in the state of Louisiana, but they've had a lot of controversy off the field. Much more on that. Let's head to the studio now and reach Dave.
Get ready, okay?
Okay, Dave, and you are indeed right. Evangel has endured some controversy. Trev Alberts and Martin May with me. We will hear from them in just a moment. Evangel Christian Academy is the educational arm of the First Assembly of God Church. Didn't even have a football team, as Dave mentioned, recently 15 years ago. As this school chancellor, Denny Duran, started the program at the tiny school of about 300 high school students, Evangel has transformed into a high school football behemoth in Louisiana, the 8th state title, national title in '99. Evangel attracts top athletes from the Shreveport area and beyond. Clouds of controversy and allegations have hovered over Evangel for nearly 3 years. Head coach Dennis Dunn remains a defendant in a civil suit which accuses him of having a year-long sexual relationship with a girl, a minor, who was a student at Evangel at the time. As a result, Dunn did not coach the 2001 season. Authorities in Texas and Louisiana dropped all criminal charges against Dunn last year, citing a lack of evidence. Dunn reassumed his head coaching position. This offseason, it was not sexual allegations, but religious differences that sparked the latest flare-up. Evangel Chancellor Denny Duran, who's also the offensive coordinator on the football team, fired noted quarterback guru Johnny Booty before this season over what was termed a ministry matter. Apparently, the two had a philosophical dispute over a Bible study organized by Booty. Booty coached the team to a state title during Dunn's 2001 absence. His son is the highly touted quarterback John David Booty, who was to have played in this game tonight. But after his father was fired from Evangel, John David, who already had enough credits to finish high school, enrolled at Southern California and is now the Trojans' top backup quarterback. We're going to talk a little bit more about this entire dynamic in high school football at halftime. But, Mark, on the field right now, the absence of John David Booty, who Evangel thought they would have this year, tremendous impact tonight?
Oh, it's a huge impact tonight. You've got a quarterback that's thrown for over 8,400 yards and 88 touchdowns and still had a year of eligibility left to play in high school football. Now, this teenager is the backup quarterback for the 4th-ranked USC Trojans. That's how good he is. If he was playing tonight, Evangel would most likely be 6-0 rather than 4-2 coming into this game.
Now, we've got a team from Louisiana making the trip to play a team from California. This is just like the way you guys used to do it in Iowa, right?
I just can't imagine how different high school football is today than it was back when I played, 1989. I remember 1989 playing for the NU High Little Panthers in Cedar Falls, Iowa. My high school football coach was Denny Kettner. He's also my math teacher. We played away trips. He was the bus driver. He went down Highway 20 in the blacktop through a little bit of cornfields. get to Ackley, take on the Ackley Geneva Raiders. Come on, I mean, that's high school football, right? We don't have teams going from one state to the other. It's unbelievable.
It had to be a
Purest
real
form of football is high
You
school
weren't even
football.
the Panthers.
Well, we'll enjoy a little high school football coming up tonight. We'll also have our high school showcase game of the week, which is from the state of Florida as well. Maybe a little bit of bragging rights going on that Rod Gilmore mentioned in the open. But right now, we are ready for the longest winning streak in high school football, taking on Evangel.
Reached 144 games and counting. That is the question. We are ready to go. De La Salle, the Spartans in the home green, will kick off. Jonathan Gio will handle the duties in high school football. He kicks from the 40-yard line. Jacob Hester, 13 in the white jersey, a star running back. They call him a freight train. It's back to the Dietrich James over the head of Hester. That will be a touchdown. And that means Evangel with their junior quarterback, Denny Duran, who has moved from receiver when, as Reese mentioned, John David Booty left the program prior to his senior season. He moved on to USC where he's a backup. Duran, great arm strength, also a baseball shortstop and a Division I baseball prospect. You'll see him display that strong arm rock out of a deep shotgun, which can be as deep as 9 yards. Yeah. Spread offense here, no huddle. Hester is the man in motion. Got a catch. It is buried right away by Terrence Kelly. Dan Duran relying heavily upon star running back Jacob Hester, bound for the University of Texas next fall. A converted linebacker has become the school's all-time leading rusher. And Connor Campbell just had that catch, another Division I prospect as well. Loss of 4. And look how deep Duran is. And instead, it's a quick snap right to Hester, the star running back. He gets a couple yards, and that's about all. The offensive line for Evangel is absolutely mammoth. Doug Stroud blocks out the stunt, folks, literally at 6'7", 325 pounds. They call him D1 Doug because he's a Division I prospect. He's also a black belt in Taekwondo. Oops, don't mess with him. Yeah. Not someone you want to mess with. Hester is the man in motion. Deep snap again. Denny Duran, the junior quarterback, fires, and that is incomplete. As we look there for Parker on the far side. Good coverage from Willie Glasser, 15 in the green jersey, and right away, Evangel Christian's got a punt.
You know, Dave, you mentioned the deep shotgun that they use offensively. It'll bear watching throughout the night to see if they can actually, De La Salle, that is, get pressure on him, because he's about 12 yards deep after he gets the shotgun snap.
Jared Jennings is the punter.
What's the fight?
He stands back inside his spot. Released at about the 7. Left foot handles all the kicking duties. Cameron Colvin lost the ball. You cannot advance a muff. You won't be able to advance that, folks, for a touchdown. But Cameron Colvin, the star wide receiver, lost the handle, and Evangel Christian's going to get it right back at that spot.
And, Dave, he was very tentative from the start. And Colvin didn't move up right away on the ball. It was dying right off the bat, right off the foot. You could tell that. But he hesitated coming up.
Disregard the flag. The ball was touched by this receiving team. White has recovered. First down to spot of recovery.
There's Dale Newhouse, our referee. 33-yard punt from Jennings, and a great break for Evangel Christian. Another look here, Russ.
Well, you see the very end of it there, the ball getting loose. Colvin hesitating to come up on that punt, and he should have just moved away from it after he hesitated. It's tough.
Senior linebacker Reagan Burns picked that ball up. Wanted to shoot the pay dirt, but he cannot advance him up. Quick handoff, it's again Hester. 235 pounds of him. He is eventually brought down after a gain of about 5 yards. Your South defense, this is a small D-line, folks. They average about 220 pounds. And both guys up front in Velo and Fujimoto will go both ways. Evangel does not run players both ways. Quick shovel is completely smothered to Hester. Absolutely nothing doing. Linebacking core, Stroud, Kelly, and Hanks. Bob Latour telling us that Kelly and Hanks have been the keys, real staples to the defense all year long.
movement on the line. We'll see from our fine officiating crew here who the guilty party is.
I think they're going to get Chris Biller on the right side jumping just a little bit soon.
Prior to the snap, encroachment on the defense. Still third down.
Secondary has some speed. Colvin back for a second game after the academic suspension cost him 5 to start the season. Willie Glasser, another fine two-way player, very good cover corner. Cameron Colvin, the top prospect in this game, up front early.
Check out the shotgun formation. It's a punt formation.
Just about 9+ yards. We told you about Duran's arm there. He's got it to Parker. Nice play. That's inside the 20-yard line of the 19 of De La Salle. Pickup of 17 yards. And we told you about he's a baseball shortstop. He's got the gun.
Well, you see the arm. I mean, when you start 9 yards deep and then you drop back 4 or 5 more yards, there's no way the defensive line is going to get you. I don't care if you're talking about the high school level, college level, or pro level. I mean, that's such a deep shotgun drop. There's no way you can get sacked.
An official timeout. John Parker on the receiving end of that catch. 6 foot, 175-pound junior. His older brother, Steve, was the national record holder, the receiver at Evangel Church, but did not play college football. Again, that quick snap goes to Jacob Hester. And the break train, as they call him, bowling over tacklers. Terrence Kelly made some contact at the 15-yard line, but Hester got quite a lot to pack there. 10th season as the Evangel head coach and 8 state championships. Incredible record Dennis John has compiled in Shreveport. Both this is an academy of about 500 people, students within the high school ranks. It's a K through 12 school. And they play in the largest high school class in Louisiana because no one else can beat them in the smaller classes. They're driving well against the nation's number 1 right now. No score, first quarter. Gentleman in the middle without the hat, that is Bob Lassour. Around these parts, an absolute high school coaching legend. 25th year at De La Salle, took over the position in his 20s and led them to an unbelievable 144-game win streak.
He answered an ad for a football coach. One of the best things he ever did.
Was it ever? High school Hall of Fame coach. He started here as the head man in 79. Second down, little counter give up the middle, not much there for Evangel Christian. Shreveport, Louisiana, the visiting Whites here against De La Salle High School. They are the Spartans and the number 1 ranked team in the nation in the home green.
You know, as we watch Evangel Christian on tape, you notice that they do a lot of shotgun, but they do go under center sometime. And when they go under center, they have a high tendency to run the ball. They very rarely throw when they're under center.
3rd and short, but 4-down territory certainly for them. Quick hitter right up the middle. And Hester stumbling forward for first down yardage. Jacobs to about the 7, plenty. It'll be 1st and goal now for Evangel Christian.
Well, Hester's got to do that kind of stuff. He's figuring on being a fullback at Texas come next year, giving them an oral commitment.
He goes, 235 right now. He's down 25 pounds from last year when he was a linebacker and as a freshman led this team in tackles.
They've got some running back, quarterback at Texas, Vincent Young.
He's very excited. He'll be a Texas Longhorn next year. Quick hitter again right up the middle. Not much there for him this time. Jacob Hester on one of his shoulders we saw yesterday, Rod, has the Bevo Texas Longhorn logo on his shoulder tattooed. I believe it's right on that right shoulder there.
You know what that means?
For number 13.
Yeah, you know what it means?
What's that?
He's committed. He cannot change his mind. He is going to Texas.
Mac Brown promised him he could wear 13 all the way through. See the number 10 there as well. Rob Stone, third member of our crew, will tell us much more about that. It's to honor John David Booty, the war number 10 at Evangel Christian last year. Here is Hester, Booty's good buddy, stumbling ahead. Fujimoto makes some contact right up front along with Dan Hennessy and Kyle Baylau.
Well, the one thing about the De La Salle defense, they're not very big, but they're incredibly quick and aggressive up front. They're the same way on their offensive line. They get off the ball very quickly. They're giving a lot of size, to the Evangel Christian offensive line.
Terry Edson, longtime defensive coordinator, and teaches a religious studies class at De La Salle. It's a private Catholic school. about 15 minutes from where we are here in Northern California. Rolling right, they're on end zone, back to the end zone there, and incomplete. A lot of bodies there. Good coverage from Donnie Payne, 32 in the green jersey.
And they also had Terrence Kelly over there, 28, and he has hop. Kelly can get up. Look at these guys. They got 3 guys showing you they can get up off the ground in the corner of the end zone.
Looked like it was intended for Ronaldo Green. Jennings will come in. Field goals this year. Jarrett is 2 for 4. He's a 5'11", 170-pound senior, left-footed dude. And he's got it. We're playing wider uprights than we would in the college game. 5 feet wider, 23 feet, 6 inches. The width here in the high school game. And thanks to Jennings and a good drive from the run, it swings in. Absolutely incredible night for high school football in Northern California. Pleasant Hill, about 20 miles from San Francisco. Not far from the East Bay of Oakland as well. Those thunderstorms, I believe so.
I thought that was only used around the World Series.
Plenty of enthusiasm. Great start for Evangel Christian from Shreveport, Louisiana. Jennings gets set to kick off. Rod, yesterday they practiced twice. They had an afternoon session and evening session. When they arrived here on Wednesday, they had a slight practice at the same field, about an hour. And this morning, a walkthrough in their parking lot. Coach Dunn has got this team ready.
That's a little bit unusual. I mean, I don't think many high school teams practice twice the day before a game.
Jennings to kick off. Glasper at his own 4-yard line. Willie Glasper on the right side. Looks for a seam. Spins away from trouble. And is knocked out at the 21-yard line. 17-yard return. Kevin Lapina, solid leader, junior quarterback, his first year as a starter. Loves Peyton Manning of the Indianapolis Colts. More pressure on this young man to keep the streak going as a starting quarterback. Rock, can you imagine?
Yeah, but, you know, he's a very good athlete. He gets a lot of support from his guys. He was in a passing league over the summer, refining his skills, getting to know these guys. He's been really good for them this season.
Unlike that spread, no huddle shotgun. Traditional big yardage. About 11 yards for Terrence Kelly, the converted tight end, who's become a star running back for the Spartans. Talented skill players behind Lapina. Bob Ladisor using 3 running backs, led by Terrence Kelly, the converted tight end. Willie Glasper's good speed. Colvin, the game's top college prospect. The offensive line does not bowl you over with big numbers. They average 218 pounds, folks. That's it. They're much smaller than the teams from Shreveport, giving up size to every team they play, but fundamentally they're very sound. Most of the players do time on the defensive side of the ball as well.
And they get off the line of scrimmage very quickly.
You see how fast. Second and 1, it was 9 yards officially. Here's Colvin. First time Cameron Colvin touches the ball. And a late flag. After the hit, out of bounds. Good toss. Evangel, some yardage.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. On the defense, 15 yards, will result in a first down.
Yeah, you heard it from the referee. Tack on 15 yards. Colvin gets crushed out of bounds.
It looks like they got Josh Barron for kind of piling on at the end over there, because the first hit was a good hit. The first hit took Colvin out of bounds.
Colvin is thinking about Miami, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Florida State. Those are his top 5 right now. An incredible story we'll talk about throughout the evening. 26 in the green jersey, puts the top of your screen in Colvin. There's slant play, and he hangs on. That's the Division I potential we're talking about, despite taking a big hit on the slant. Colvin somehow retains possession of great catch.
Well, he's big time. He's one of these guys that has been on the recruiting circuit. Last summer, he was out at Miami at their football camp, impressed people down there, has a number of scouts checking him out. They want him at the places you mentioned. He's a big guy, great speed, and very tough.
About 6'2", 190 right now. We watched him run in practice yesterday. Talk about a gazelle. Big-time wheels. Movement at the line. We'll find out which team is the guilty party here. The Eagles a 3-0 lead. And De La Salle in some unfamiliar territory, actually facing a deficit here tonight.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense.
But going back to Colvin for a second, he missed a bit of the season because of academic troubles, and so they're getting him back involved now.
So against that smaller De La Salle offensive line, the defensive front looks to get into the backfield. Nose guard Tim Henderson at 305 pounds. Texas Tech, Ole Miss, Oregon are interested in him. Texas Tech has already offered a full scholarship to Tim Henderson, who has a size 16 shoe, and he's 16 years old. Talk about a man-child. Kelly is pushed forward. Lost the ball at the end of the run. Looked like he was down at about the 31-yard line. He needs the 29 for a first down. All-American defensive end Chris Powers, nicknamed the sack man for good reason, another blue-chip Division I prospect. Nebraska wants him. He leads the Eagles with 6 sacks this year. In the secondary, Travis White, Wes Winston, the top cover men, both will be tested by the great skills of Cameron Colvin. We saw that already on the great catch.
Well, you've seen a lot from the De La Salle offense already. They will run the veer option. They will run some power and counter, and then they have play action pass off of that entire package. They will give you a lot of different looks offensively.
Alex Stroud, 11 the green jersey, and Colvin are split to the right. 3 receivers now. Glasser, who can run up as a running back as well, line up in that spot, is in the slot. Stroud, motion man. It's Colvin. Trying to bust through that seam with the good wheels. Hangs on. And it's got first down yardage to the 24-yard line of Evangel Christian.
That's an automatic
first down.
5 or 6 yards whenever he touches the ball like that. That is simply get the ball out to your premier athlete and let him make a play. See, they got him going in motion, hit him on the screen coming back inside, and once he gets going, he's a real problem. There's nobody faster on the field.
We've heard different reports and stats on the 40-yard dash time of Cameron Colvin. I've heard 4.31. I've heard in the 4.4s. Regardless, an absolute prospect. It's Kelly bursting through. Terrence Kelly 1 step away from a touchdown. More first down yards to the 11 of the Eagles. Back to the studio and Reese Davis. Dave, all right, Reese, we've got number 1 in that poll right here. The De La Salle Spartans, the green jerseys, they are driving. Kelly again. Terrence Kelly bursting through. Touchdown, De La Salle. 11-yard burst to pay dirt for Kelly, who incredibly enough had been a tight end his whole career until 3 games ago. Switched to running back because of injury, and has he ever risen to the occasion, Ron?
Yeah, he stepped in for Jackie Bates, who is a real speedster in the backfield. But Kelly is underrated. He really doesn't get the attention he deserves. He's 6 feet, 215 pounds. He can play a multitude of positions, obviously. He's very talented.
Oregon, Cal, Washington, and Arizona State. Nice selection of Pac-10 schools interested in the services of Terrence Kelly, the senior. Gio tacks on the PAT, and for the first time tonight, the top-ranked team in the nation, making their national TV debut, has a lead thanks to Kelly at 7-3. Terrence Kelly, outstanding running back, former tight end, and we told you about his college prospects, some major D1 programs interest. How about the small offensive line here, Ron?
Small but effective. Take a look at the blocks by Fujimoto, the right guard, and Lama, the center. They get off the ball so quickly. Look at it. They beat Evangel Christian to the punch significantly. I mean, if you get the first punch, you're going to win the fight.
9-play drive, 6 first downs, including 1 by that penalty.
How far off the ball do they push him? 3 yards, 4 yards?
218 pounds is all they average. They're giving up about 40 pounds on average in this game on both sides of the ball. If you look at the numbers, including those behemoth linemen for the Eagles.
All about technique. All about
exactly
technique.
Right. Great lesson for all of us. Gio kicking off from the 40. Take it there. Dietrich James looks for room. Tripped up just outside the 30-yard line by Danny Latisseur, head coach Bob Latisseur's son. Third member of our crew, as promised, is Rob Stone.
Dave, interesting offensive system the Eagles utilize. They all have wristbands, and they have a flip card, a yellow side and a blue side. They have the plays listed on it. Also gives some protections. They also have a white card they utilize when they go and do the huddle formation, which obviously they're not in right now. Interesting, though, that the quarterback can audibilize on every single play. He can change any play to any play he wants at any time of the game. The Eagles offense flies as high as their QB.
Do they ever? Here's Denny Duran, the quarterback. Here is Campbell. Connor on a quick little screen slant almost. Unique to high school football. Another nice pickup.
Now, what was that we were talking about yesterday about how they start people in the system at Evangel Christian early, 3rd grade, 4th grade, so that by the time they're in high school, they know the passing tree very well. They've known it for years. They know how to run the offense.
Everyone is familiar with it. Denny Duran's younger brothers have been here in the hotel. We're staying at the same hotel as the folks from Evangel Christian. They've been playing football in the parking lot this morning. They're working on those plays already. Pass broken up. Deflected at the line of scrimmage. Intended there for Campbell on the far side. Falls incomplete. And that'll set up 3rd down coming up for the Eagles. We're coming here from the Juicy Fruit High School Football Classic. Diablo Valley College, Pleasant Hill, California. We're in Northern California, not far from San Francisco. Great high school action here. Team of the Green, De La Salle High, #1 ranked team in the nation with a 144 game win streak. Team in the white, Evangel Christian, Shreveport, Louisiana, trying to break it. Duran passing over the middle, nearly intercepted by Parker Hanks at midfield, a linebacker who's had a great season for Bob Lattiser. Had that one drop incomplete. Punting situation for the Eagles.
Parker, that was yours, buddy. You know, he's got friends in the stands, friends at home thinking he's going to make a big play on television. Chance of a lifetime. It's right through his hands. We've all been there, though, haven't we? We've all been there.
You have.
We've all been there.
Colvin muffed the last one. He's waiting back deep with glasses. But lands and takes a nice eagle bounce at the 42 all the way down to about the 26-yard line of De La Salle. And that is where they'll take over 1st and 10. We are playing just 4 12-minute quarters, folks, so it seems like the game has moved quickly. It has, and they are shorter quarters, 3 per. Concord, California, in a private school of just over 1,000 students, tuition near $8,500 a year. They do not give out scholarships, but financial aid is provided to kids in the area who can't come up with that kind of tuition money.
It's a very good academic school. Some 97, 98% of their students go on to 2- or 4-year colleges. UC Berkeley is a very popular school among the students at De La Salle.
About 6 miles from where we are, 4 exits or so on the 680, right? You see that out here in California?
That's right.
Everything is the. Little misdirection. Lapina, the keeper, and he's got a lot of room. Midfield and more. Finally knocked out of bounds in Eagle territory. All the way to the 45-yard line, 30-yard pickup there for the quarterback, Lapina.
Well, when you have a difference maker, as you do with Colvin, you open things up for other players. And Lapina took advantage of that because Colvin was double covered. Guys ran with him, leaving the entire left side open for Lapina just to come out of the pocket and take off down the field.
To the 44 officially of the Eagles. 1st and 10, under 2 to go in the first quarter. Up the middle they go. Dominguez carries. And Mike, who's a senior at 5'11", 180 pounds, with a touchdown run against Foothill High in one of their recent games of 30 yards.
So if you want to get to De La Salle and Concord, you go into Oakland. You just get on the freeway from Oakland and you go east. You go away from San Francisco. San Francisco, you go west. You go east across the hill. It takes you about 20, 25 minutes to get across the hill and out to this area where it's a lot hotter in this area than it is in San Francisco or Oakland. About 10 or 15 degrees hotter over here.
It is warm. And a lot of the Evangel players in the hotel saying, we're not used to this kind of heat, although down in Shreveport it's pretty hot. Different sort of heat. Lack of humidity. Dominguez again, the quick hitter right up the middle, bust into the secondary of the Eagles. 1st down yardage to the 30, where he'll be spotted. Evangel Christian.
It's all about the little guys up front. Take a look at 52, Mike Vittori. You can't see him. He's on the left side there, but his side of the line, he just crushed everybody on the Evangel Christian side. I mean, those guys, it's amazing how they're able to dominate guys that outweigh them by so much more. They get off the ball incredibly quickly, and they are tenacious. They stay on you.
Pickup of 10 there. The third leading rusher on this team is Mike Dominguez, the senior. He's out of the game for now. Slant pattern in. Oh, incomplete at the 15-yard line, knocked aside. Pretty good coverage there from Evangel Christian. And on the coverage, Josh Perron, among others.
You know, you and I look at tape and we hear people talk about De La Salle, and they say, hey, what's so special about them? They don't have a huge offensive line. They've got one star player in this guy. You know, they've got some other guys who are good players, but he's the one great player. And other schools who play them, they look at him and they go, we can handle him. We've got more talent. And it hasn't been the case. You think about a Long Beach Poly that took them on a couple times and figured they had so much more talent, they dominate them. No way.
Travis White, you saw number 6 a moment ago, top cover man for Evangel Christian. Quick handoff. It's Glasper trying the left side, and this time the Eagles not through. He gets back to about the original line of scrimmage where it should be 3rd and 10 for the Spartans coming up.
You know, you look at Evangel Christian, they've had trouble getting games in Louisiana. It's one of the reasons why they're playing anyone who'll play them. They go to other states to play because they can only really get about 4 home games in their area. They're too good, and they have to go other places to play people.
Here's Denny Duran, the offensive coordinator and chancellor of the school. And that'll do it for the first quarter of play. And it has been exciting. The nation's #1 ranked team with a 144-game win streak on the line just has a 4-point lead. On the Eagles have made the long trip from Shreveport, Louisiana. Terrence Kelly, big touchdown run. Lapina, the quarterback, has directed very strong drives so far in the early going. Second quarter yet to come. Long trip for the folks from Shreveport, Louisiana. A couple hundred have made the journey, which for the players started Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. local time. They took a bus to Dallas and a flight to San Jose and started practicing right away. I mean, these guys don't miss an opportunity to work out. Their first game of the year on artificial turf, and so far they're holding their own against the nation's #1 team.
Yeah, and the only mistake the nation's #1 team made was a muff punt in the first quarter. And it was Cameron Colvin who dropped that ball, led to a field goal, but that's been it. After that domination by the offensive line of De La Salle, Terrence Kelly getting the only touchdown of the game.
Lapina facing the first 3rd down situation of the game for De La Salle. Down he goes. He's sacked there by Wes Winston, the defensive back. Little blitz coming from the secondary. Pays off for Evangel Christian.
Well, you got it just right. They had pressure coming from the upside, the top side of the screen. No one picked it up. Looked like it could have been a check off there. Didn't get him.
Jonathan Gio will be set to punt here. Winston would like to be an attorney someday. We can give him some advice on that.
Don't.
The advice is don't. Oh, come on.
No.
Ruin the young man's dreams like that.
I will talk to him.
Left foot kicker Gio. They try to rush the punt. Takes a nice bounce for De La Salle. And there's Glassberg to down it inside the 10-yard line. That's where the Eagles take over after we hear from Rob Stone.
Dave, they take their special teams serious here in California, especially at De La Salle. What I have in my hand is a special teams application. You actually have to fill out an application to be on the special team. Some of the questions, are you the truth? Why or why not? My favorite question, what would you do if you saw your mother running with the football? I have one player's answer to that question coming up after this play. You'll want to stay tuned. It's a good one.
Okay. All right.
Terry Edson, he is the defensive coordinator and the special teams coach and a religious studies teacher at De La Salle. Very busy. He asked us to before the game, unless some of these coaches haven't gone to the college level. Yeah. Doing it all for Hester as he is smothered under. Hit hard by Chris Biller. Rob, you want to finish that story?
Yeah, you guys know DJ Williams, right? Stud linebacker at Miami. He played here at De La Salle. So he attached a videotape to his special teams application. And what he had his mom dressed up in a football outfit, returning a kick, and he laid her out. And I'm talking a serious smack. She still has back pain. They had video proof of it. We just couldn't find it.
You can't hit your mom.
He did. He's hardcore, man.
You know DJ's watching right now.
Oh, can't hit your mom.
Are happy Virginia Tech in the Big East lost, Rod. You saw that game the other night. Duran thrown from the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Parker on that far side. Gutierrez on the coverage, and it sets up 3rd and 11 for Coach Dunn and Coach Dillon, the offensive coordinator, who's a volunteer coach. That's him with a headset there. As we mentioned, the chancellor of the school. So we saw with Coach Edson various duties. This is not just a football job only for these gentlemen.
It's a little different in high school, and you think about these coaches teaching math. You know, you heard Trev mention that. Religious studies is big with both these schools, and a lot of these coaches teach that as well.
Ron Sun is the quarterback. D-Rod, they call him. Snap goes to Hester again. They've used that play quite a bit. They had to get all the way to the 21-yard line for a first down. He stopped well shy of that at about the 12, and that is where the Eagles must punt away again.
Well, this is sort of the De La Salle formula. They rely on their defense to really shut things down. Their offense will be patient and push you. They'll break something, and before you know it, you're down by 17. You're down by 24. Their defense is so good. They've only given up, I think, a couple of touchdowns this season.
Jared Jennings averaging over 32 yards a kick, 15 punts for 515 yards heading into this game tonight. He's been pretty busy. Leasing from the goal line. He turned that over beautifully. Missile kick. Again, Colvin drops it. Second time it's happened, but he recovers this time. Now tries to work his magic. Penalty flags down. He's buried. Stood up and dropped backwards at the 42-yard line. And that is where at least the ball spotted for now by the officials. There could be a penalty reversing. 45-yard kick, just 1 yard on the return from Cameron Colvin.
But, you know, it's surprising to see him muff a ball again. He has such good hands. We saw him in practice yesterday, and I don't think he dropped anything.
Not one.
I mean, he looked like he had just magnets for hands.
During the run back. Illegal block in the back by the receiving team. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be first down, Green.
We'll tell you more about Cameron Colvin when we return. It's been a difficult off-field situation for him, certainly. Missed some games this year as well. 7-3, De La Salle has a lead. Bad news for the Eagles. Dietrich James has had some injury problems. He's being looked at in the sideline. That's Travis White as well. He's being attended to with his shoulder, so we'll check those injuries out with Rob Stone in a moment. Shreveport, Louisiana, the host city of Evangel Christian. The school that just came about 23 years ago. It's incredible. From 89 until now, 8 state championships. Building a program can't be easy.
Well, that's amazing. And like we said, people won't play them in Louisiana. They have to go to other states to get enough games.
They must have 9 games for Coach Dunn on the schedule this year. It's all they could schedule. No one else wants to take them on. They've battled some schools from Alabama, from Florida, from here in California. The Kansas City, Missouri state champion team as well. They have 2 losses this year with their 4 wins, but they've had to take on some of the best.
Well, you know, you heard Trev and Mark and Reese talk about the Booty, the John Booty situation, his being at USC. And they're right. If he were playing for this team, I believe they'd be undefeated right now. I mean, he's that talented a quarterback, and he would make a huge difference with his team.
He's already seen some action with USC. Backup quarterback at just 18 years old. An amazing story itself. Enough for the summer session down in Shreveport. Enrolled at USC early and has made an impact as a true freshman. Carry up the middle from Kelly. Not much doing from Terrence on that one. All right, ESPN and ESPN2. 2 great SEC matchups. First at 7:15 Eastern. 4 here in the West Coast on ESPN2. Eli Manning. Ole Miss look to remain unbeaten in the SEC as they host Arkansas. And then at 7:45 on ESPN2. Clarence Cadillac Williams squares off against the 9th-ranked LSU Tigers. What a game last week for him, huh?
Yeah, I'd say Auburn looks like they have pretty much figured it out now. After that 0-2 start, I think they've hit their stride.
Top 25 and counting. Tommy Tuberville. Keeper Lapina's got first down yardage. Needed the 44. He's to the 47-yard line. Bob De La Salle keeps the drive going here in the second quarter.
During our break, we heard the Evangel Christian coaches talking to their players on the sideline, and they saw what we've been seeing up here. Up front, De La Salle killing them.
Bad news for De La Salle. That is Kevin Lapina, the junior quarterback and starter, who's shaken up. Anthony Gutierrez is his backup. His older brother, Matt, is now backup quarterback to John Navarre at Michigan.
Well, during the summer, they were pretty close. I mean, Gutierrez is a very talented player. He's very athletic, and there was some speculation as to which one of them would win the job. So there's not a huge drop-off when Gutierrez comes in here. He's a talented player.
Gutierrez's older brother Matt did play at De La Salle as well en route to Ann Arbor, and here's a look at what happened.
It looks like he did it himself. It wasn't the hit that did it. He started to go down before that. This is very old turf. I mean, this is not the new stuff that you see in a lot of places. This is that AstroTurf that's been around for a while. It's very hard. It sticks. It grabs. There are seams in it. And it's just part of the price you get when you play on places like this. You see he just gets caught there. His foot just sticks to the turf.
Rob Stone down below on the Spartan sideline. We'll find out what he can, and we'll bring it to you as quickly as possible. So Gutierrez comes in. He did play in the team's last game against Freedom High. 1 for 5, 35 yards in the air, and he's passing on his first play of the game. Looking down, fields are Colvin, and Cameron up. Had it deflected away. At the last moment, it falls incomplete. Glenson Stewart on coverage.
Gutierrez is not shy. And like I said, he played throughout the summer with Colvin and others on this team in the passing leagues. And that's one of those new phenomena we've seen in high school football over the last few years. Everyone is in a passing league. They play all summer long, 7-on-7, no linemen, throw the ball around. They get a lot of practice together. So he's an experienced guy, even though he hasn't been a starter. He's worked with these guys and thrown the ball an awful lot. Got a pretty good role model as a brother, huh?
His older brother, Matt. Saw one-play quarterback against St. Francis High School a couple of weeks ago. Keeper might have been a botched play, but it works out pretty well for De La Salle. On the option. He's about 4 yards shy of the Spartan first down. We told you about his older brother, who was a star quarterback here, class of 03, and now playing for Michigan for Lloyd Carr.
Yeah, and there were a lot of folks yelling for him before John Navarre had that huge game against Minnesota. People were calling for Matt to come off the bench as the backup quarterback and take over, and I'm sure he's watching his little brother get some playing time here.
What a comeback that was by the Wolverines that night, huh? Yeah, Dome against Len Mason's Gophers. Phenomenal game.
Yeah, it's pretty special. I think Michigan is back in the hunt.
3rd and 3. Lapina being looked at. Looks like the right knee they're attending to. We'll get the details from Rob as soon as possible. Gutierrez, his backup, keeps. Needed about the 44.5. He was very close. That appears to be a little bit shy from that spot. Back to Rob Stone for an update.
Yeah, Dave, hanging right behind Kevin Lapina. They are, as you said, looking at his right knee, testing the strength and the stability of it right now. You look at his facial expressions. It doesn't seem that he's in too much pain, but you know what? A lot of times situations like this, the pain is the first thing that hits you. And then you just kind of fight through it.
Kevin will have to sit and watch here, Rob, as his backup Gutierrez comes in, and a key 4th down conversion attempt here early. With 6.5 to go in the half, he's got plenty. Behind the smaller yet fundamentally sound offensive line, he bowls forward to the 40, 1st and 10, De La Salle.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. The way that offensive line is dominating, you can go for it on 4th and short. I mean, look at this surge. Together, collectively, and look how they knock Evangel Christian on their backs. I mean, they're just not pushing guys. They're knocking them on their backs.
Pick up a 4 on the play for Gutierrez. A couple rushing touchdowns this year. We've seen him on the ground. Aspect of his game. Looking right at Tim Henderson, 75 in the white jersey. Play action, Gutierrez to throw. Thought about looking for Alex Stroud. Now Chase in the pocket and wisely throws the ball away. No one anywhere near the green jersey. It's out of bounds and incomplete, and that will be intentional grounding as they caught Gutierrez in the act.
Now, that ball may not have passed the line of scrimmage. He threw it out of bounds.
Intentional grounding on the offense. 5 yards from the spot of the pass. Lost it down.
Low-key head coach Bob Lattiser never gets overly excited. We met with him yesterday, and you would just not guess this is the author of a 144-game win streak. He downplays that. He's not overly emotional by any stretch. He said, well, it's a little bit of luck, a lot of skill we've developed. It's more teaching that we're worried about than the streak.
Well, they've got a little bit more than that. They have a lot of passion about what they do. The players really do. They've bought into this thing. The peer pressure at this school is phenomenal. These guys work out year-round. The coach doesn't have to encourage them to do it. They do it on their own. They're committed to keeping the streak going.
That's Tedford at Cal, Mike Bellotti at Oregon. Close friends with Bob Ladouceur, who has provided tremendous talent to both of those programs.
Good reason to be a friend.
Yeah, on a regular basis. Screenplay. It's Terrence Kelly. Stood up, but carries the pile. Remember, he's a former tight end who's 215-plus pounds. And he's close to the original line of scrimmage. You mentioned some college coaches. Pretty famous former NFL coach from this area in Monday Night Football, and John Madden has a comment, too. Low-key, like we said.
Yeah, and that's about right. He would be. He studied theology when he was in college.
Gutierrez again running for his life. A little sprint. Glasper has got it, brings it in at the 28-yard line. First down yardage. A nice throw again from Anthony Gutierrez. The number is off that 12-yard pickup we see from Ladouceur.
You see what he's done in his career. 1995 Coach of the Year. And those things are great, but he doesn't care about any of that. He says the most important thing to him is that his players learn life skills. They learn how to persevere. They learn to trust one another, that they care for one another. And he says that's really the key to what they do here, that they care for one another, they make a commitment to one another, and that carries them through the tough times.
On first down. Gutierrez, across the middle, it's Kelly again. He again pulls tacklers to about their 22-yard line. Nice pickup from Terrence Kelly. Saw a comment from John Madden a moment ago. His son, Joe, is a high school coach in this area who has come to several De La Salle practices to try to learn a thing or two about how Coach Ladouceur has put together this incredible win streak and program tradition. There must be a lot to pick up.
Well, you know, the players say that he doesn't yell. I mean, he'll give you a look, and it's not a mean look or a stare.
What are you talking to Willie about?
It's a look that is one of disappointment, so that you want to clean it up.
Option pitch at Kent on second down. Pops it in tracks, and it just nailed right there. Not much room at all for Terrence Kelly running on the right side. Josh Baran, 11, the defensive back, stopped his progress shy of the first down. He needs about the 18. And it'll be 3rd and 3 for Terrence Kelly.
Okay, so you've seen De La Salle on tape. You heard all the stuff. Well, what you expected or not?
Exactly what I expected. Fundamentally sound team. They're not going to bowl over it. They're probably not going to score 100 points a game. It's not that type of team. Total yards so far. And the TOP time of possession certainly has been dominated in the second quarter almost entirely by De La Salle. Just over 3.5 to go in the first half. Big play to Colvin again. Cameron trying to make a move. 10-yard line, dragging tacklers to the 5. And up for a first down. Matt Kramer, the linebacker, dragged him down from behind. Otherwise, he would be in the end zone for another Spartan touchdown. It'll be 1st and goal, De La Salle. Pickup of 16.
He's good. Now you know why there are several schools chasing him. He can play wherever he wants. He can be a wide receiver at the next level. He can be a defensive back. He's got great hips. He can change directions on the dime. And that's what you look for, a guy who's got the wiggle, who can change directions and get the speed in a hurry, top speed. He does that.
Kelly and Glasper with Colvin out of the game. On the backs behind Gutierrez. Terrence Kelly looks for his second touchdown. Out the half, and he's got it. That is a strong running back, folks. Welcomes the contact and knocks back the tacklers. 13-3 game off the 5-yard touchdown run from Kelly.
Flowers.
Hard to believe this guy was a tight end for all this time. Well, Coach Bob Ladouceur, but because of an injury problem, you see those wide uprights there. And in high school football, you cannot advance a muff, missed, or blocked PAT. Field goal is legal, but not a PAT. In college ball, you can take it back to the 2. Not in high school ball. It just goes as a missed kick. Terrence Kelly, 2 touchdown runs already. That's why De La Salle, top ranked in the nation, has a 10-point lead here in California.
Another touchdown for number 1 ranked De La Salle, but a bit of bad news. You're looking at quarterback Kevin Lopina. Just spoke to him. I said, hey, son, are you going to be able to go back in? He's got 2 ice bags on that right knee. He said, I doubt it, and then fighting back tears. Said, I cannot put pressure on it. Spoke with the head trainer. He said he cannot tell me anything until he talks to Lopina's parents first, but all indications his day is done.
That's really, really sad. Really unfortunate. He's such a great player, and it wasn't a hit. The knee just buckled on the turf there. You can see that. It was not any contact. He was trying to make a move. His foot grabbed on the turf, and he went down. It just buckled on him.
14 plays, 65-yard drive there. 6 minutes, 14 seconds, most of which engineered by Anthony Gutierrez, the backup to Lopina, as Gio gets set to kick off from his 40. Saw him in practice yesterday, some serious range. I think he probably kicked one from 45. Jacob Hester at his own 5, hurdling tacklers. He's out to about the 18-yard line. Sunday night, beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time, 4:30 here on the West Coast. Catch NFL Primetime presented by Miller Lite. We recap all the day's NFL action. Get you ready for Sunday Night Football. Priest Holmes, Dante Hall, and the KC Chiefs hosting Drew Bledsoe and the Bills in an AFC showdown. It's also available in stunning high definition on ESPN HD. Call your local cable operator or DirecTV to order today.
That team has stars, you know. I mean, Priest Holmes, Dante Hall, Tony Gonzalez. See what they did to the Raiders last Monday night?
What a great finish that was.
Oh,
An
yeah.
incredible game. Coliseum, Networks Associates Coliseum, about 15, 20 minutes from where we are here. The deep shotgun again. Duran going deep. Was it brought in by Campbell? What a great catch by Connor Campbell at the 40-yard line. 21-yard pickup for Campbell, who's another Division I prospect we'll see a lot of tonight.
Yeah, the folks at Texas Tech like him. They like this. They've been looking at him, and in that pass-happy offense, he would fit right in. Great job keeping his foot in on the sideline there.
300-plus pound bench press as well. Texas Tech, in addition to Louisiana Tech Rod, are talking to Connor Campbell. There's a good idea why. Shotgun Duran. Denny. Nice open field running. Eventually, Alex Stroud buries him at the 45-yard line.
And a really smart play by Duran. And he looked down the field. What he wanted was Connor Campbell on the left side, but Terrence Kelly was back there deep on it. He didn't go for the pump fake. And Duran figured it out in a hurry and took off. And he's a pretty good athlete. You know, once he gets going, he can pick up some yardage.
Talked about his prowess in the baseball field. Very good shortstop. Would love to play for Smoke Laval at LSU someday, or the Tulane baseball program. Those are his 2 goals. If he doesn't make it on the football field, he is a receiver by trade. Dietrich James, quick handoff, left side, lots of room. And he plows inside the 45-yard line. Down to about the 43, depending on the spot. First down yardage for Evangel.
Well, James is probably the quickest guy on the offense here for Evangel Christian. He gets outside in a hurry. He's got great lateral movement, but that quickness got him to the corner. A good block on the edge there to help him out there.
11-yard pickup there. 2 receivers to the right of Duran. As Rob said, looking at that wristband that's taped onto his left arm to get the signal. It's a call of a color from his father. Denny Duran, who was the offensive coordinator, see him there with a yellow sheet top of your screen and the headset. And a timeout called here by Evangel Christian. They're down by 10, but driving. End of the second quarter. More on the way. And extraordinary. Mount Diablo in the distance here in Northern California. Sun's still shining there. Down here, we've lost it. Brian, Rod Gilmore, Rob Stone, our entire crew here, bringing you for the first time ever De La Salle High School from Concord, California, #1 ranked in the nation. In those green jerseys with a 144-game win streak. It's live coverage from Northern California, taking on Evangel Christian Academy from Shreveport, Louisiana. Made a long trip here to try to end Bob Lattisur's long win streak at 144 in a row. No headsets for the head coach.
No, he's pretty calm and cool on game day. He does his work during the week. Game day, calls a couple plays, takes it easy.
As players tell us, last night, before the game, that's the big pregame speech, but again, doesn't get overly fired up. Not a fire and brimstone type from the first one. Duran from that shotgun. It's Hester. makes the reception, tripped up from behind. Good pursuit on the defense. And a marker down. Matt Drosba brought him down from behind.
It's going to be marked off against Evangel Christian.
Holding by the offense. The foul is 10, penalty's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay first down.
Hey, you mentioned, Dave, that Evangel Christian made the trip all the way here from Louisiana. Had their expenses picked up for making the trip out here. De La Salle did not have many expenses, but got about $6,000 to $7,000 out of putting on this game tonight.
Played at Suwanee, Florida, about a 13-hour bus ride. Also to Hoover, Alabama. They lost that game to the Alabama State champs. Hester on a little screen pass left side from room. They call the freight train for good reason. Oh, he's just blasting through tacklers. And he's got first down yardage.
Good running backs finished the run. And Hester finished that run. At the end of that run, he lowered his shoulder when he knew he was going to get contact, and he delivered the blow. He didn't take it, he delivered it. Watch the end of the run. Watch him finish this run off right now. You see that? Dip the shoulder, deliver the blow. That's what the good backs do.
6 foot, 235-pounder, just bowling over tacklers. You're right, that initiating contact, a big keeper.
Yep. He's learned that. Learned it well.
1,592 yards and 24 touchdowns right last year. It's been a different season for him with a different sort of offense now that John David Booty is gone. Pass incomplete there, looking for Parker was Duran. He was facing two men blitzing. So a minute 41 to go here in the first half. Let's go back to Reese Davis in the studio to tell us what's coming up.
All right, Dave, Trev Alberts, Mark May with me. We're seeing the best California and Louisiana have to offer. We'll check out the best Florida has in our high school showcase highlights.
We'll talk about how high school football is so much different today than it was when we played high school football, guys.
And I'll tell you who will be the difference maker tomorrow in the SEC.
In addition, we will discuss the issues surrounding Evangel Christian Academy as soon as you guys finish up the first half.
Gentlemen, thank you. Here's second down to Ron. That 10-yard shotgun. It's so deep. Finally, he's dragged down from behind. Took him a long time to finally catch him. And Ron has got that ability to scramble.
Well, it's almost not fair that he's playing quarterback. He was forced into the job. He's a wide receiver really by trade. Quarterback the freshman team a couple years ago. But because John Booty left and went to USC, and then they had a transfer come in from Texas who was ruled ineligible until the job fell to Duran.
Hey, read it.
Minute 15 to go in the half. Back down to Rob Stone.
Hey, guys, more on the Duran situation. He told us he wants this to be a one-and-out situation. His strength, like you guys mentioned, is a wide receiver. He wants to get back out there and be wide receiver. He doesn't want to play quarterback, but head coach has got the final say on that one, doesn't he?
And his dad does too, Rob, who's the offensive coordinator and the chancellor of the school. So he's kind of got some pull over his son there, who told us yesterday, yeah, I'd rather be a wide receiver. It turns out when he was a freshman, he was working out with the varsity as a wide receiver, and also had to quarterback the freshman team.
Come back to the smash. You understand? Come back to the smash. Now, look, here's what we're doing. Look. Come on, y'all come in here. Come in and get quiet. Let's go. Get in here.
We're doing good. We're doing good.
So let's go.
Going in, boy. On the right.
Let's go regular. You ready? Let's go regular.
So 0 flag and 7. 0 flag, 7. And run. Let's go.
You heard him call for a flag, a 7 route, a corner route, and a slant off of that. So go with their regular formation, which is 4 wide receivers, and a slant and a corner route.
So off that last sack from Mike Vittori. We'll see if the play works. Duran under pressure. It's intercepted. Dominguez jumps in front of it and makes a great play. Mike Dominguez has been one of the top running backs of this team. Showing what a two-way player is all about. Big pick.
Move your feet. You're getting us killed out there.
Well, you heard his coach ask him to move his feet or tell him to move his feet. But that's just a great play by Dominguez. And that ball had incompletion written all over it, and he made a diving interception. That's just a little bit of want-to there to make that play.
You see how De La Salle handles just a minute 12 left in the second quarter clock remaining. Harris stays out there. As Rob reported, it appears the evening is done for Lapina. The starting quarterback, perhaps a knee injury. Kelly again, Terrence busts through. First down and much more. To the 39-yard line of Evangel Christian Academy. Another huge run, 28 yards for number 28. They have, in fact, discovered a great running back who used to be a tight end here.
Well, he is really the most underrated player on this team. Coleman gets all the attention, and deservedly so. But this guy is a great athlete. He can really play. I think at the next level, I don't think he's a running back. I think he's a guy that'll play the strong safety spot, maybe the free safety spot. But he can play at the next level.
Clemson E. Stewart eventually tracked him down, not before a huge game from Terrence Kelly. We told you Oregon, Cal, Washington, Arizona State are some interested schools.
It's kind of cool to be able to say the next level and be talking about college and not the NFL, you know?
And many players on the field tonight will be involved in major Division 1A programs next year. Coach's son, Danny Lattisour, 23, is the man in motion. Some movement. Looks like the left side of the offensive line may have jumped a bit early. We'll see.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
For one thing, Evangel Christian.
Last play. Right.
One thing Evangel Christian has to do, when that man gets back on the field, Colvin, they have to give him room. Because he's the one guy that can line up outside and run past their corners.
Had to miss 5 games, did Cameron Colvin this year, the start of the season, because of some summer school problems where he didn't catch up academically. He was taking courses but didn't have enough of the credits built up. And he was suspended for the first academic quarter, which happened to be 5 games. So it wasn't laid down in concrete to do 5 games. Just that was the quarter. This is Glasper over the middle. And he makes a great catch. Willie Glasper brought it in, stumbling forward to the 18-yard line of Evangel Christian. What a grab.
Oh, wow, nice play. They just sent 4 guys straight down the field, and Gutierrez had his choice.
Timeout.
Made the best decision. You see Colvin flying down the field. You see 4 guys flying straight up the field, putting pressure on the safety. He had to make a decision as to who to take, and that left Glasper all alone inside. And what a catch he made. Look at that. Got the hands underneath it. Protected the ball from the ground with his back.
He is a senior. Makes the 26-yard pickup. Goals to play in the NFL. Well, here's some of the schools interested. Oregon, Texas, USC, Florida State, Cal, UCLA, Washington, Arizona State. All have had some sort of contact with Willie Glasper. That's quite a list.
Hugo! Give me a football like I said!
Quad left, good.
Quad left, yeah.
Or you want to go trip?
Let's get back in there. Quad. Go to quad. And then move that guy over there. Yeah, you run 8. The slant. Yeah. You run in the slant. Good. You're right inside. Just over there.
It's about 3-stepping goes.
Okay.
Hey, if he, hey.
Find out where the safety is.
Hey, Anthony. If he opens right away, Cameron, hit him. If not, get Willie on the wheel. One left.
No. 5 steps.
Wheels on both sides? I say 3. 3 steps. Wheels on both? Yeah.
All right, so we've got a 3-step action coming up. You've got 15. Glasper, who's going to run a wheel route, getting outside from his inside position. Colvin, 26, ought to be coming inside. You see the total yards, 228 for De La Salle, dominating in the first half.
So apparently just over a minute 20 was plenty of time for De La Salle here with a backup quarterback in Gutierrez. He's throwing here over the middle. Stroud has got a touchdown, De La Salle. 18-yard touchdown play. Gutierrez to Stroud. And it's a 16-point De La Salle lead.
Oh, we heard them talk about it on the sideline. The slant on one side, the wheel route on the other side. He went with the slant, got Stroud, Great leaping catch.
First touchdown catch of the year for Alex Stroud, the senior. His coaches told us yesterday he's got all the tools to be a Pac-10 level recruit. He loves former Iowa Hawkeye Tim Dwight. The tournament in his day in the Big Ten. Some NFL time, of course, for him. But Stroud just hasn't put it all together, the coaches tell us, in terms of the whole package, the mental approach and the tools.
Well, it takes a little bit of time for everybody. Some people get it quicker. I'll tell you one thing. On that play, he put it all together. Timing, ran the route, got the hands up real high. And how about Gutierrez? Coming in off the bench for Lapina. That ain't bad. I think Big Brother's pretty happy with young brother Gutierrez right now. The folks at Michigan getting ready for their ball game, watching tonight. Happy for the youngster, huh?
Alex Stroud's first touchdown catch, Rod. First touchdown pass of the year for Gutierrez. And a very quick drive, all 22 seconds, and they'll try to go for 2 here. Make it a 21-3 game. Father and son discuss what they can do with about 50 seconds in the first half.
Now, you know we have a rule. You do not go for 2 until the fourth quarter.
Pass play, drops. Looking for Glasper, and it falls incomplete. Willie Glasper was open there, trying for the conversion catch, and it falls incomplete. 52 seconds left.
Well, he had him there. This pass was just a little bit short. You'll see Glasper have to reach back for this. This ball is short. See that? Right there. You notice how all of the De La Salle players wear 2-digit numbers? They don't have any player on the team that wears a single digit.
Why is that?
It's not part of the team. You can't be a team if you're going to have somebody helping you. That's their motto. You got to have 2 digits. You can't just have a 3. 3 is by itself.
This is not the home field of De La Salle. Owens Field is in Concord, just about 6 miles from here. Interesting to note yesterday in their home stadium, no signs whatsoever about the streak, about national championships, about how great the team is. Just very simply home of the Spartans, as if it's any other high school. It's understated, and it kind of goes back to the teamwork philosophy you're talking about with this team.
Well, that philosophy and also the philosophy of the school. I mean, De La Salle is a very good school, and they have students there that do things other than football, and they're very accomplished, and they're very proud of all that, and they kind of take it all in stride. It's part of what they do at De La Salle.
Dietrich James, Jacob Hester, the deep man. Great kick from Gio. It'll be Hester at the goal line. Jacob is crushed. Shy of the 15 with 47 ticks to go in this first half. And a special teams hit made there by Nick Markey, number 43. And Duron comes on. Not much time remaining here in the first half.
Just give him a minute, okay? Thank you.
Was Kevin Lapina on the sideline. Fortunately for him, on crutches, as Rob Stone reported, apparently his night is through. Hope that he recovers, though, in time to keep the streak going for De La Salle. Duran, of course, the shotgun. Ball is tipped. It falls incomplete. Penalty flag down as well. Chris Biller came in, 51 in the green jersey, and got a piece of it. It's holding.
Well, if you're Evangel Christian right now, you're thinking, okay, didn't work on first down. Let's get out of here at halftime. Let's just take it in. Here you see the pressure coming. They're trying to run a screen out.
Holding
Not
by
gonna
the
happen.
offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal from the 11.
Right in the middle of your
Blue
screen,
play
you
first down.
see the hold.
Matt Drosbo was dragged down to the turf on that play. Penalty number so far. And it's done on the right with the ties, the head coach. Denny Duran, the chancellor of the school, is the offensive coordinator who succeeded Terry Bradshaw at Louisiana Tech and was an All-American quarterback, was Denny Duran, twice in Shreveport, in Ruston, excuse me.
Evangel Christian has to be careful here. I mean, De La Salle still has, timeout they can use. They could get the ball back in good field position. They can't let this get out of hand for them right now, Evangel Christian.
Come on. We're all going to come.
Still some time left to pick up that ticket for the 50-50 raffle. Remember, the winning ticket will be chosen during the third quarter.
Bring them all to the side. Come on.
You guys in the
We
game?
got 43 seconds. We got 43 seconds left. We're still in this ball game. Let's get out of here. You understand? Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Look. Hey. Are you in? Belly. and hold on to the football. You understand? Audible and belly. Let's go, Austin. Hold on to the football. Run the timeout. Let's go.
There you go. Smart call. Get out of this situation. You're backed up. You're down by 16. You can get to halftime, live to fight in the second half.
Denny Duran, the offensive coordinator. As you see, Terry Edson, the D coordinator for the Spartans, who's orchestrated some incredible team. Denny played with Roger Carr, Mike Barber, Pat Tilley, Fred Dean, Roland Harper in the 70s at Louisiana Tech.
Some pretty good names.
Wow. Talk about a loaded team. So they'll play it close to the vest here. Dietrich James stays on his feet, cuts back, and made a nice run out of that one. Plenty of first down, close short of the first down after the penalty, rather.
What a great move. What a great move to get back and stay in bounds. He goes out of bounds, that clock stops, and he leaves his team in trouble. But he stays in bounds, clock runs, they got a chance to get out of this situation without something bad happening.
15-yard pickup, Dietrich James. Got to shore up his grades a little bit. Right now, a junior college level prospect because of some academic issues, and he's trying to correct and get himself to the D1A level. It should be the last play of the first half. Gutierrez comes off the bench, 85 yards. Through the air, 5 of 7, and his first ever touchdown pass of the season. Denny Duran, the offensive coordinator, and his son, D-Rod, in some trouble. Back to Reese.
All right, Dave, I think we see
Jennings to kick off. It's Glasper. Willie, 15 to the 20. Willie Glasper some room. Great return, Glasper, just a step or two away from breaking it outside the 40-yard line to the 42 of De La Salle. That's where they take over, a 39-yard return from Willie.
Well, you heard the talk at halftime. Rob Stone mentioned a big play in special teams. This is a pretty good start. May not be the big one they were thinking about, but Glasper does a nice job of finding the crease, staying inside. Nice move, getting in pretty good field position, 42-yard line. That's a pretty good start to the second half.
Told you about Glasper with all those possible college choices, and Willie on the little counter handoff carries across the 45-yard line to the 46. Nice first down pickup for him. Against the St. Francis High team, he had 142 yards on the ground against Palma this year. 3 touchdown runs, so he has had a tremendous season. Terrence Kelly really has taken over recently with some impressive stats, too.
He looks like an Oregon guy to me.
You think so?
You know all those small receivers Oregon
fits
has?
in.
He looks like that kind of a player.
5'10", 185 is the listing for Glasper. 4.3440 has been timed out. Here's Kelly, breaks one tackle, and he's buried for a loss. Back to the 44-yard line of De La Salle. Pursued there. Big Tim Henderson, 300-plus pounder, made a nice play. Back down to Rob Stone with an update on the injury.
Yeah, guys, quick update on Kevin Lapina. He was carted off the field into the locker room at halftime. Spoke with the team trainer coming onto the field. Told me he is definitely done for the day. They're going to have an MRI tomorrow to check the actual damage that has been done to his right knee.
No shame, Lapina, the junior. See how that affects this team the rest of the night and the rest of the season with this incredible streak on the line. Gutierrez goes deep. He's got his man, Colvin. Cameron Colvin brought that one down. Flag down as well in the area of a roughing the passer. And that is the call on a personal foul. Cameron Colvin on a ball slightly underthrown by Gutierrez made a nice adjustment.
Well, Colvin was so wide open, he didn't expect the ball to come. He was kind of drifting backwards, and Gutierrez put it out there. And you're right, it was a little bit underthrown, but I think he wanted to make sure he got him because he was so wide open.
Roughing the passer. Be half the distance of the goal line from the end of the run. First down.
Tacked onto the play.
That's a pretty good call. So just watch Gutierrez, and you'll see the hit come in a good 2 steps. That looks like it's Chris Bowers, their best defensive player, comes in with a late hit.
29-yard play, plus the 15 for the roughing the passer call. Josh Barone on coverage eventually knocked Cameron Colvin down.
Inside the 15 at 1st and 10. Glasgow right up the middle. Follows that fundamentally sound offensive line close to the 5.
I just watched Sean Wilhelmy, number 58, at the right guard spot. He's only, what, 220, 225 pounds? He just got off the ball and dominated his guy. I mean, it's amazing what they're doing up front.
Up the middle again, Dominguez. Mike gets awfully close to the goal line, just shy. Had the interception in the first half. As Coach Ladiseur told us yesterday during that practice they had at their high school, he'd use at least 3 running backs, maybe 4 in this game, Dominguez being one of them.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I mean, the offensive line is just teeing off. You know who likes that? Mark May. Mark May likes that.
2 backs behind Gutierrez. Keeper, and he's in. Flags down late. Penalty flag dropped on the near side. Gutierrez on the keeper. We'll see about the penalty. One-yard touchdown run. De La Salle hopes it stands up.
The touchdown has been scored. Following the touchdown, we have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense. The penalty's half the distance to the goal on the PAT.
Well, the PAT moves even closer for Guillot, unless they elect to go for 2 here, which appears to be the case against Coach Dunn's team.
What?
We talked about Kevin Simon, DJ Williams, the great alums from the De La Salle program. When we come back after the kick, we're going to hear from Amani Toomer, New York Giants. And speaking of Michigan, great career with the Wolverines. Yet another one, an incredible list of alums coming from the De La Salle program, not only to college stardom, to the NFL as well. Keeper, Gutierrez is in. Makes it a 27-3 game with under 9.5 to go, 3rd quarter. When we return, we'll have a discussion with Amani Toomer. Bob Ladiseur, 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns, including the last 3, and they are rolling, trying to keep the win streak going. As we told you before the break, Amani Toomer, the New York Giants, getting set to take on the Minnesota Vikings this week, joining us via telephone. Amani, thanks for your time. When you watch De La Salle now, how has the program changed or maybe stayed the same since you were here in Northern California?
Well, it looks like a lot of the same. You know, they're doing a lot of the same things, but they're spreading it out and throwing the ball a little bit more.
Let me ask you this. Was the regimen for the team, the training program, everything, was it the same when you were here as it is now that they train year-round essentially?
Yeah, we used to go year-round. It was more of just a fun thing. We used to hang, you know, because all my buddies were on the team, so we just hung out, and it was a good time for us to spend time together.
Gio the kickoff. James takes it inside his 5. He's on the left side, and Dietrich is swarmed under shy of the 20-yard line. So, Monty, the alum base must be very strong. Are you in contact quite a bit with your former teammates?
Yeah, a lot. I meet a lot of those guys. I still hang out with them, and you know, we always keep in contact.
Did your days here at De La Salle help you prepare for Michigan? Tell us about that and how it helped you, if at all.
Just that you you put your all into something, and really just to try and not let when the things go bad, not let it get to you, and just keep on going forward.
Now, some of the guys here told us that one of the big things here with De La Salle is, commitment you make to each other. Was that part of the program, and how does that work?
Well, everybody's accountable to everybody, and everybody knows that we watch the film. We watch the film at lunchtime and do all the things together. So everybody knows when you're doing good, and everybody knows when you're doing bad. So that's when everybody's.
Monty Toomer from the New York Giants, former De La Salle star, joining us on the phone as they get set to take on the Vikings this weekend. That's Jacob Hester. And the screen pass reception from Denny Duran. Picks up a couple. There was a penalty at the tail end of that return from Dietrich James. Pick up on that last play. Sets up a first down. Well, Evangel Christian way behind. We're on the phone with Amani Toomer of the New York Giants. Dietrich James, deep route, deep play to the 25-yard line of De La Salle.
Looking a little bit like Amani Toomer streaking down the sideline there. Although you wouldn't have got pulled down, huh?
No,
I don't think anyone's catching you in that play, Amani. 55-yard play.
Here you take a look at it. It's just a go route to the outside and a nicely thrown ball. They beat the coverage outside. And James, again, the quickest guy on that offense. You saw it right there. Pretty good toss, pretty good catch.
Alex Stroud eventually brought him down, in addition to Donnie Payne on coverage. Again, the shotgun for Duran, joined by Amani Toomer, the New York Giants, on the phone. Incredible tradition De La Salle's put together. Quick pass, Hester is bottled up. Amani, how about the role Bob Lattisour, the head coach of De La Salle, had for you growing up, not only as a young man, but as a player?
Well, when I was at De La Salle, I was afraid of him. You know, he didn't say much. He always wears his dark glasses. And, he just has that look about him and always get you going in the right direction.
Is it true he really wasn't much of a yeller or screamer? He just kind of gave you a look of disappointment or things like that?
No, Terry Edson was a yeller and screamer, and then Bob Lattisour was the guy who just stared at you, stared you down.
Let me ask you this. What do you think about the streak? It's up to 144 now.
Well, I'm very impressed with the streak. I think that they're doing a great job and they're keeping the tradition going.
But Amani, we believe you were part of the last team that
I knew that was
lost. We had to bring it up, of course. Do you ever get any kind of abuse from your buddies about being on that team, the last one that lost the game at De La Salle?
Yeah, I do. I was talking to Phil Sims the other week before one of the games we were about to play, one of those pre-game meetings, and he told me about it and let me know about it.
Big hit from Parker Hanks. Sorry to bring up the bad memory. That was the last time, December 7th of 91, believe it or not, a 12 consecutive undefeated season in the works here at De La Salle.
All right, Amani, but you get a chance to get back on that. You guys had a streak before that loss, didn't you?
Yeah, we had a 34 game.
That's not bad.
No, it wasn't bad.
Well, what do you think about the Vikings this weekend? They've been pretty good and pretty intimidating for a lot of folks. What are your thoughts heading into the weekend?
You know, everything's going right for them. They're doing really well in terms of, they're throwing the ball over their shoulders, running in the end zone. I think we're just going to, have to go out and play our game and see what we can do. But it's not really about us. I just really want to pay attention to this game that's going on right now.
2nd and 6, Duran. Near side pass. Connor Campbell has got it. Tries to shake and bake his way out of trouble. Brought down by Terrence Kelly. Monty Toomer, thanks so much for the time. Best of luck against those undefeated Vikings this weekend.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Thanks, Monty. Take care.
Great to have Amani Toomer, former De La Salle great, Michigan Wolverine, and now New York Giant. They get set to take on the unbeaten Vikes, leaders of the NFC North.
I say, he was something special in high school out here. I mean, you couldn't pick up the paper without reading about him. I mean, everybody wanted him. A lot of folks were disappointed that he left the area and went to Michigan. But, hey, Michigan's out here getting people every year now.
Timeout called by the Eagles. Evangel Christian Academy from Shreveport, Louisiana. Down 24, but driving third quarter. On ABC Sports this weekend.
I hope that Notre Dame-Boston College game, my buddy Mike Golick doesn't pick on Sean McDonough as they call that game. He probably will.
What's this? The quarterback over center and Duran off the timeout. The live formation behind him. Up the middle, it's Hester. Break train gets close to the goal line, but he's shy there. Sage around the quarterback has been outstanding on this drive. 8 for 8, Rod, through the air.
Well, they're not out of this thing. I mean, they get a touchdown here, and if they can finally get a stop defensively, they got a chance. And we've seen some comebacks on Friday nights on ESPN. How about that Michigan-Minnesota game?
Amani's got to be happy about that one.
Oh, 34 points in the fourth quarter, I think it was. 34-31.
Largest comeback ever in Michigan history. Hard to believe. That was a first down run moments ago from Jacob Hester. So it is 1st and goal. Now the drive numbers. Look out. Dietrich James tracked down. Dominguez again, who's had a big game.
No kidding. He had a great pick in the second quarter. And this play is just a great play. He feels it. He's on the outside. James is very quick. He doesn't let him get outside. Attacks him with the proper shoulder. Look at him. Makes good tackle. Protecting the outside. He gets across his body with his shoulder. Great tackle.
Ricky Williams of the Dolphins, his favorite player, but he's a favorite defensive player as well. Official timeout.
Well, you know, these players at De La Salle, so many of them play both ways. A little offense, a little defense. Not quite the same with Evangel Christian.
Dietrich James shaken up, but able to jog off under his own power. That's good news. 11th play of the drive coming up here. Starting at their own 9. This has been the most impressive possession of the night for Coach Dunn's team.
Well, he challenged them at halftime to settle down and play football and not be so worried about playing on television. He thought they were tight. Thought they played a little bit scared in the first half.
Appears to be a reversal here in the second half. Under 4.5 to go, third quarter. And 12-minute periods here in high school football.
Okay, check the 4-4-4.
And we've got flags.
Prior to the snap, they have a snap infraction, 5-yard penalty, previous spot, still second down.
Well, that's probably going to send them back into the shotgun formation. Yeah, I'd like to see Evangel Christian do a little bit more under center. When they're under center, roll the ball some. Break their tendency of just running when they're under center. And this short formation, usually they run out of this short formation. They don't pass.
Campbell, their top receiver, is the man in motion. Looking for Connor Campbell, broke it up. Parker Hanks deflects that pass away at about the 7-yard line. It falls incomplete. Sets up 3rd and goal for the Eagles.
It's all about the De La Salle defense. I mean, their guys either make the play or they get their hands up. Look at this right here. Look at all the hands getting up. Parker Hanks got his hands on it. Cal Ballou.
Check forward! Forward! Right here! Right here!
Intense Parker Hanks getting ready to defend 3rd and goal here. Under 4 in the 3rd quarter. Campbell wasn't looking for it quite in time. Quick release from Duran with some pressure. Kyle Baylau was on the way in. And it falls incomplete. 4th down decision coming up.
Yeah, Kyle Baylau really getting in there. 4th down. I like this talk. I mean, they need to get something. The field goal won't do it. They need a momentum changer. They need a touchdown.
De La Salle's opted to take a timeout on this critical 4th down play coming up. With a 24-point lead. School Chancellor, offensive coordinator, Kenny Duran. We told you about his great days as a quarterback at Louisiana Tech in Ruston. His head coach is Dennis Donald.
Let's get it in. You got to believe right here. Come on.
We got
Come here.
stretch left. Listen, we got stretch left. What we're going to do is we're going to go 7, okay? 7 on the outside, okay? Bend. 7, bend, okay? And then what we're going to do is reverse in to the middle of the field, okay? Everybody's got to get in the end zone. Understand? Look. On the right side, on the right side, we got post. You got just post on the right side.
7 what do I hit?
7. What do you You're going to look at the 7 and then the reverse in. Let's go.
Yeah, I changed my mind. I would not go for it. I mean, when you tell your guys on the sideline you have to believe, I think they're seeing something in the faces of their players that say they're not into it right now.
Parker Hanks, we heard from him a moment ago, he's wearing a microphone for us. Intense on-field audio. Duran, some pressure in zone, incomplete. Looking for Derek Dunn. It was Hanks who dropped back in coverage. Dominguez and Kelly all there.
There we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah. There we go.
That's
That's good stuff.
Parker Hanks is into it.
There's no question. He's got to play linebacker. With an attitude like that.
Switches right over to tight end, stays in the field. Time out of the field, under 4 to go, third quarter. Big defensive stand for Parker Hanks, the De La Salle linebacker. And the Eagles get it done.
No.
We saw the intense play of Parker Hanks, the linebacker, now tight end. Bob Ladouceur told us yesterday he and Kelly from the linebacker spot have been so reliable. Here's Terrence Kelly carrying now offensively. A lot of two-way players for De La Salle. He crosses the 15 as he picks up a couple yards.
What I like is Parker Hanks. We had him mic'd up playing linebacker. Now he's back on the field, tight end. Just as intense as he was as a linebacker. He's got that same tenacity as a tight end. He's going to block somebody and get after somebody now.
Pickup of 6 for Kelly on the first down run. Anthony Gutierrez, the backup quarterback, has done a nice job replacing Lapina, who's on crutches and out for the night. Last for the carry. Across the 25 to the 26-yard line of De La Salle. He's got first down yardage again. Give him 11.
So this De La Salle offense is missing 2 of their starters. Lapina's out. Jackie Bates is out. But the offensive line is intact. And they have been impressive tonight. Once again, opening up another hole. Pulling their offside tackle and guard, leading on the play. They may be small, but they're good.
This is Bruce White, 27 in green, tight end in for the first time tonight. Chance for Coach Ladouceur to get plenty of reserves in with a lead like this. And it's been commonplace. It's Ladouceur carries for not much right up the middle. Maybe got a yard.
At De La Salle, they start their year-round training program in January, carry it through until after the season. And we were told yesterday that the coaches have to encourage the players to take vacation. It's voluntary, but they don't want to. They all want to stick around and work out 6 days a week.
Sounds like a Division I program. Year-round workout plans are instituted. It's Kelly piling through the defensive front. He needs about the 36 for a first down. He'll be shy of that third down coming up. Roderick Griffin talked about Cameron Colvin, the star wide receiver of this team, and some of the difficult things he's faced off the field in his life.
Incredible situation. He has lost both parents. His father died a few years ago under suspicious circumstances in his sleep. His mother was charged with murder, but was acquitted. And naturally, that young man was quite confused by all of it, how to deal with it. He had lawyers telling him his mother was guilty of something, and lawyers saying she wasn't. Oh, eventually she was not.
Third and short. And tragically for Cameron, his mother passed on within the last year of a brain aneurysm. So he has had to endure unbelievable heartache and somehow keep himself focused on his grades and football. The character of this young man, talk about being tested.
Well, his teammates helped pick him up. At his mother's funeral, unknown to him, his teammates showed up. They planned to show up. They brought their dress clothes on a hanger, and they all dressed with him like they were preparing for a game, just like that. And he was so touched by it. Just an amazing thing. The coaches didn't suggest it. The players did it on their own.
Here's Colvin on the screen pass. Looks for the first down marker. He's about to the 44-yard line of De La Salle. We'll be sure of that. A nice pickup again from Cameron Colvin. We talked about that 5-game suspension. And the coaches have told us that actually may have helped him sort of ground him, get him a little more maturity and ready for the next step.
Well, he's got something to look forward to. He's a tremendous young man, a tremendous talent. You see the explosion he has. You see the change of direction, and he's got the size to go along with it. It's not surprising. Schools like Miami, Michigan, California, Florida State, all of them interested in him.
32.4-inch vert leap and a 4.3 140. Kelly's opening some eyes of college recruiters with each carry. Terrence, another big gainer inside the 40-yard line. of the Eagles. Under 30 seconds to go in the third quarter.
A pretty special run here. This guy shows you that when he makes up his mind to cut it up the field, he runs with a lot of tenacity. Look at that. He got about 6 extra yards after contact.
17-yard pickup for Terrence Kelly, who continues to impress. Unbelievable story. In his career, he had never carried a ball until 2 games back. Switched from tight end because of the Jackie Bates injury. Had 2 touchdowns in that game and hasn't looked back since. Under 5 seconds left of the quarter. We'll get one more play off. It's Kelly again. Lost the ball. Loose ball about the 37-yard line of Evangel Christian. We'll see who's got it. Spartans keep it. And that is the final play of the third quarter. From Pleasant Hill, California. Top ranked De La Salle High School with a big lead here, 27-3 beginning the fourth quarter. 12 minutes up on the fresh fourth quarter clock. Ron Gilmore, the ESPN 2 exclusive game track. Kelly has had a big night, 106 yards on the ground.
He's been a big story, a couple of touchdown runs, great support by the offensive line, and then defensively, Parker Hanks delivering the flow, leading the way for that defense that hasn't given up a touchdown. Only 2 this season.
A recent game where they allowed no first downs in a half. As much as the offense has talked about, the dominant offensive line and some skill players, Cameron Colvin, Terrence Kelly, 100-plus yards tonight. The defense has been a big story as well. And the backup quarterback, too, Anthony Gutierrez. Not much there at all for Colvin. Let's go back to Reese Davis in the studio.
Carrot Top is bumming tonight, huh? He's got to be bumming. Do you think Carrot Top actually played any ball?
I'd be interested to see his response. Regardless, it would be entertaining for sure. Gutierrez. It's Hanks. Parker Hanks, a nice move in the open field. Lunging forward to the 30. And he needed about the 28 for a first down. He's shy of that. All-around great game from Parker Hanks. Tight end, linebacker, does it all. 14-yard pickup.
Pretty good night. You know, that's the thing you miss about college football. You know, the guy can play offense, make some great plays, get on defense, make some plays. You just exhaust yourself. There are a handful of guys who play both ways at the collegiate level.
He's made some Urlacher-like hits in this game tonight and saw on the game track a moment ago.
And some Urlacher-like sounds, too. Linebacker noise.
Tense character on the field. Fourth down try here, 4th and 1. Up by 24 beginning the fourth quarter. They're trying to draw him off sides, and guess what? Gutierrez may have done just that. We'll see if they were drawn or there was movement across the line of scrimmage.
Dead ball, encroach on the defense. 5-yard penalty. The penalty results in a first down.
Forgettable moment, forgettable night for Dennis Dunn.
You know, I can't help but wonder how good Evangel Christian would be if John Booty were here. He's at USC, number 2 quarterback, skipped his senior year of high school, which to me doesn't make any sense. But, you know, we don't have anybody to blame but really kind of, you know, colleges, because it started creeping that way when guys started going to spring ball, leaving halfway through their senior year. It's not surprising you ultimately get someone who leaves before his entire senior year.
Gutierrez lost the ball, some trouble with the exchange. On that snap from Jonathan Lama. Speaking of John David Booty, he was the star quarterback last year in the class of 03, set to be the starter this year. But as Reese Davis in the studio talked about, some controversy. His father left the program, went to USC, and now is the backup as a true freshman.
And he was quoted, though, in the paper the other day saying that if his dad hadn't been fired, he would still be at Evangel Christian.
Replacement Denny Duran. A bad night through the air. His dad, the offensive coordinator. Perhaps next year, Denny Jr., or D-Rod as they call him, will become a receiver again as he'd like to. He told us yesterday, I don't really want to be a quarterback, but by necessity with John David Booty leaving, I had to become the signal caller. And looking at their depth chart, who's coming up through the system, no one is probably going to replace Denny next year. Trouble again with the exchange, and this time Evangel Christian Christian has got it back. Powers down low. And the trenches trying to wrestle it away.
That's great. You had two linebackers going after it. You had Jason Rogers and you had Parker Haynes. We got it. And two guys who've been really hitting hard tonight, fighting over a ball.
Senior Jason Rogers able to cover up the fumble. And Evangel Christian gets it back. Still down by 24. A little over 9 to go, fourth quarter. De La Salle Street keeps on rolling. Offense causing a turnover here, fourth quarter. For Evangel Christian. Trying to get back in this game. Down by 24, the top-ranked team in the nation. Won't be easy. And the tough defense we've seen from the Spartans tonight.
Back up, White. Back
Rana
up.
get out of the shotgun. Jacob Hester, star running back in motion, gets the screen pass, and he stops. Terrence Kelly. And another nice open field tackle keeps the clock rolling. Pick up a 2.
They can't touch him when he's going out there getting that ball.
Tackle on the play by Terrence Kelly. Pick up of a yard and a half.
Here comes the big shotgun now. About 9 yards behind the center now.
Origins of the shotgun, in case you're wondering. In the early days of the program, the offensive linemen were so small. That pass complete. Campbell has got it. And he's to about the 35-yard line. He should have first down yards. Flag down late. We'll investigate that. In the early days of the program, the linemen were about 140, 150 pounds. The only way to protect the quarterback was to have the deep shotgun formation. It stuck with the offensive game plan all these years later, and 8 state titles later.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. It will be a first down.
Checking again, Rob Stone on the sideline.
Added on to that. That moves the ball all the way to midfield.
Hey, Dave, just to add to that deep snap that we've been talking about all game long, they stole it from Liberty Baptist University back in '82, where the QBs, they took it 11 yards deep. Now, that's deep.
Is it ever?
Hey, remember Oklahoma when they had Josh Heupel back in the 2000 season? They had Heupel back about 7-8 yards, and he would retreat to about 14 or so, and you couldn't sack him.
In this case, Duran's got to throw about 12 yards back to the line of scrimmage, then get it to Connor Campbell. And he's close to the 40-yard line. Campbell's had a fine game. We told you about some of the schools interested in his services. Texas Tech, Louisiana Tech, very good track man as well. Got some incredible speed. Sub 50 seconds in the 400 meters.
Impressive.
And the cousin of John David Booty.
We talk about the deep shotgun. So much has changed in high school because of the good coaching, and there's so much sharing of information between the college coaches and the high school coaches now that you see a lot more sophisticated stuff going on at the high school level now. 4 wide receivers, multiple sets, motion, all kinds of things happening at the high school level now.
Big crowd here tonight, lots of emotion on the field, trying to, for the Spartan fans, keep this win streak going. With more on the high school scene.
Football is right there.
That's absolutely right.
Dietrich James, little screen pass to the 40-yard line. Not much of a pickup there.
And he appears to be...
Getting back to Kurt's comment, as we go around the country for our games, college football, we see and we hear on radio and read in the papers about the high school teams in the areas that we visit. And high school football is huge, and it is passionate in all the places we go to. And I can think of even being in Oklahoma, that Gene Tulsa game where they draw 40,000 people to watch that high school game.
Jacob Hester bounces outside. Big yardage here for the Eagles. He's close to the 25-yard line. Plenty for a first down and then some. I saw the crowd here tonight, over 7,500 on hand. It is completely sold out, standing room only. Around the track, they are jammed. 16-yard pickup there for Hester. And each team used to playing in front of some pretty big crowds. 2-time state champs, 2 in a row. These guys from Evangel Christian have played in front of 40,000 plus at the Superdome in New Orleans. Crowd over 20,000 at Independence Stadium for a game against Longview, Texas earlier this year. End zone tried to run, almost intercepted, and falls incomplete intended for Connor Campbell. Johnny Payne on coverage, sorry.
Yes, well, Campbell, he's the guy they want, but great coverage there. Double coverage, nowhere to go. Stroud coming over to help out Payne. But you know, if you're going to be a quarterback, you're going to take some shots. Deron may prefer to be a wide receiver.
Yeah, Deron wants to go back to wide receiver. He doesn't like this getting hit stuff.
Get me out of that pocket.
Campbell would like to be an accountant someday. There's some movement at the line, but no call. It's Hester and the quick give. Jacob, again, bowling over tacklers inside the 20-yard line to about the 17. Pick up of 8 for Jacob Hester, headed for Texas.
Headed to Texas, and you know, it's interesting how recruiting has changed in high school football. Now, more and more decisions are made in the junior year. Most commitments are done. There's more recruiting out of the camps that the colleges put on. So kids very rarely are making a decision in their senior year, except for a select few of them are.
Hester pounded after getting back to the line of scrimmage. She was the Louisiana Class 5A State Player of the Year last year. We told you about his incredible numbers. 1,400+ yards, 24 touchdowns, almost 7.5 yards a carry last year. And he is a Longhorn, really committed. There it is. Mac Brown promised you will have number 13, so we'll have to change that, Bill.
Well, and you know, in the recruiting game now, a lot of these guys are put in a position where you have to make a decision early because of the limited number of scholarships. Schools will move on if they think they have to go down to the wire in the senior year with somebody. They want to know sooner as opposed to later.
The complexion really has changed in the entire process. Fastball is incomplete. Back down to Rob Stone.
Hey, Dave, Hanson brothers, you have been warned. Here comes Team Duran. That's right. QB Denny, his older sister Dawn Shreen, little brother Dez, who's the backup quarterback on the Eagles' 7th grade team. They put out this album, Silver Lining, Christian pop music. They've toured with it to promote it. They hope to put out some more CDs in the future. And I told you they have some concerts, but they can't have those concerts during weekends. Why? They're just too busy with athletics, man.
Wow. That's versatility. That is one busy family. Dietrich James, slant play, trying to get to the 5-yard line. He stopped shy of that. And he needs about the 4 for first down here for Evangel Christian. Coming up next, Friday Night Fights is coming your way. First, got some business to finish here in Pleasant Hill, California, near San Francisco. We'll have boxing coming up on ESPN2. Dave Ryan, Rod Gilmore, Rob Stone with the gospel music report a moment ago on the sideline.
Do you think Rob's played that thing already?
Oh, definitely. 144 games and counting. This is Hester trying the right side, trying to again knock over tacklers and initiate that contact. Alex Stroud banged him out of bounds. Stops the clock at 5:15 to go in the 4th quarter.
So you want to play football? All right, listen to this. They hit hard at the high school level.
48 yards on the ground for Hester in this game, 31 through the air. Has been effective, but not the dominant force that Dennis Dunn, the head coach of Evangel Christian Academy, had hoped for.
Well, you know, De La Salle right now, they're playing to keep them out of the end zone because they haven't given up many touchdowns this year, and they don't want to give up another one.
9 points a game is all they've surrendered during this 144-game win streak and counting. Pitch James tries for the cutback, then outside, and dances into the end zone. Dietrich James, a touchdown for Evangel Christian.
Let's go.
How about the quick feet on that? James did a nice job changing direction, stutter step, and in the burst to get to the corner.
All the fans who have made the trip from Shreveport at least got to see a touchdown against the #1 ranked team in the nation. That kick is good, barely over the crossbar. Jared Jennings, and they are allowed to use a tee in high school football. 27-10 game. Dietrich James around the right side. Gets in the end zone. 45 in a row. Looking to drive a few miles on the 680 here in Northern California. Absolutely perfect night for high school football. I think, Rod, you have to give some credit for the Evangel Christian kids coming all the way from Shreveport. Long trip. They can't schedule enough games in their home state. They've got to go out of state, take on powerhouses like De La Salle. Is it still a learning experience for them?
Absolutely. And yeah, they're going to spend a couple days here in the area, getting over to San Francisco, finding out what the area is about a little bit. It's a great experience when they come out here. And playing on national television is a good deal as well.
Unusual formation here in the kickoff. We'll see if that includes an onside kick. Jennings is in the middle of the pack. Tries it, but he almost left the ball behind, which was the idea. Did it go far enough? No.
The ball fails to travel the 10 yards.
From the 40, had to get to midfield. Tried to sort of whiff on that, lead the ball to midfield for his coach. Friday Night Fights, boxing coming your way next on ESPN2 as soon as we wrap up business in Northern California. We're in Pleasant Hill, Diablo Valley College, their home field. Junior college level. Team is practicing just before the game here tonight. Get ready for their next contest. Up 17. Gutierrez has come in and played well.
Absolutely. He's done a nice job. You know, like I said, though, he's worked out an awful lot with this team and did a lot in their passing league in the summer.
Carry up the middle for Willie Glassman. Tonight's player of the game brought to you by John Grisham's new book, Bleachers. It's Terrence Kelly. And unfortunately for Terrence, looks like they're working on something in the left hip area. 106 yards and a couple scores. The converted tight end who's become a star tailback. I don't think he's ever going to go back to tight end run.
Tough guy.
Yeah.
Tough guy. I do think his future, though, is probably as a strong safety in some lucky school.
Against Archbishop Mitty High. His first career start, 171 yards and a couple touchdowns. He has been rolling since making the switch. Glasper again, busting through into the secondary for the Eagles. He's got first down yardage, close to the 30 of Evangel Christian.
You know, both of these schools have been so good that naturally creates a little bit of jealousy. There have been charges against both schools about recruiting players, and they don't do that. It's not allowed. It's illegal. Neither school will recruit, but their reputations are such that kids know about them, and they want to go there. They want to play with these coaches, programs that are very successful.
Rob Lattiser says the streak is not at the forefront of their thought before each game. The teaching experience, togetherness, we talked about the commitments. Rod Stone has mentioned from the sideline about special teams applications, and there's also commitment that each player fills out prior to the game, gives to another teammate. Tonight, I'll make 7 tackles, for an example. Tonight, I'll catch 4 passes, break up 2 balls, something like that to another teammate to, again, reinforce the commitment to one another, and that kind of togetherness that has helped a lot.
And they do that every week. They do it for practice as well. Their commitment to each other about what they will do in practice that week. And you're held accountable to the teammate you make that commitment to.
Rolling down to 3 left in the 4th quarter. Gutierrez for Glasper, and Willie bulls forward inside the 25-yard line and needs about the 21 for the first down. Since 2001, top ranked. North Coast section champs 11 times. Points per game outstanding. The defense has been excellent. 33 shutouts. And as we mentioned, this would be the 12th consecutive undefeated season if they run the table.
Well, that North Coast section championship is even more impressive when you consider that, you know, back in 1997, people got upset that they kept winning the league. And they said, oh, do something about it. And De La Salle said, you know something? Fine. We won't play for the league title anymore. We'll just go independent, so to speak. So they get in that large berth every year, and then they win the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. This team has 1 loss in the last 15 years. Any sport, any level. That is incredible. Just know the bullseye is huge on the back of these guys every time they play.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not have a fluke?
Encroachment by the defense. Penalties 5 yards. It will result in the first down.
How can you not have one game where something goes wrong? I mean, even the flu bug. I mean, you have players who get sick and you can't play well, but it doesn't happen. The streak just goes on.
There's some bad news. Kevin Lapina is out. Starting quarterback. Kelly was being attended to, although he's got the helmet back on the sideline, and looks like he may return if needed. Solid lead here. 17 and counting. Lopez. Eduardo Lopez, the running back. Stopped just short of the goal line. Another big run, and yet another running back. Creating some serious offensive output. 16-yard pickup for Eduardo.
Yeah, he's only about 5'6", 180 pounds. Sports his way through there.
They are loaded at running back. No question about it.
Oh, a lot of skilled players. Remember, they're not playing with Jackie Bates, who was their top running back. He's been out for a couple weeks.
You've seen Kelly. Lopez with a big carry there. Dominguez, the running back, has had a big night as well, offensively and defensively. First and goal here, and with under 90 seconds to go, Gutierrez takes a knee. Classy move?
Beautiful. Fantastic. No need to run up the score. He's teaching something here to his guys. No need to rub anything in. You know, have respect for your opponent. Very appropriate.
Boxing coming away next here on ESPN2. About 50 seconds away. Win streak will expand to 145 for Concord De La Salle High School from here in California. Big crowd at Diablo Valley College of 7,500 plus. We'll see the longest win streak continue.
Well, beginning of the show, we talked about there being some non-believers out there. I think there are a few in Louisiana now. Just a few more. This team, its execution, remarkable.
December 7, 1991 remains the last time this high school football program has lost a game. It will be a 27-10 final. And the win streak takes one more step in their national TV debut here on ESPN2. Bob Ladouceur's Spartans keep on trucking. So that is the final, 27-10. De La Salle makes it 145 in a row. Friday Night Fights coming away next on ESPN2. For Rodney Gilmore, Rod Stone, the entire crew, it's Dave Ryan saying so long from Northern California. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports, in conjunction with Paragon Marketing Group. For more, log on to ESPN.com. The Spartans have done it again, making 145 straight wins, 27-10 the final.